Welcome back for another episode. Spirit Bus 33 fam. Jyotishamara here. Once again, excited to take a little trip with you, expanding our consciousness, learning how to become our favorite versions of ourselves, living more in the now, all while embarking on this wild, wondrous earth experience. Join me each week ish as we evolve together, exploring Toltec, holistic, interdimensional, spiritual minded thinking and practices.
Your spiritual beings having a human experience.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing some of your precious energy here with me right now. Happy now. As always, let's start off with a body scan, checking in with your needs. Our body, it's a magnificent avatar holding our consciousness. It communicates with us, and once we become aware of its unique language, we can better take care of ourselves. If you need to grab some water, a warmer shirt, your pashmina, if you need to eat some food, take care of yourself first. Pause the audio, come back later. This episode is dedicated to a recent experience with some vibey peeps in the middle of nowhere. For many, well, I'm guessing, not assuming, because I'm learning to not make assumptions, but for many, I'm guessing that making friends is possibly easy. So no, perhaps that's not true. Perhaps making acquaintances is easy. But what about making those close, true friends, where the trust, the respect, the communication, the forgiveness flows free and fancy? The utopia of PLUR, of peace, love, unity, respect. It's such a beautiful idea. But how do we navigate that if our systems, our avatar, our minds, neural pathways, our brain has been wired differently? How do we connect to others with a traumatized self? Well, first, we recognize that the brain functions different. A traumatized brain actually functions different. There's changes in the physical structure occurring mostly in the areas that impact stress responses, emotional regulation, memory. To shorten the explanation, basically, the amygdala pops off with, oh shit, there's a threat, which a traumatized amygdala, it can be overactive. It can be seeing danger in very small interactions. And then the hippocampus rolls on in, which is crucial for memories. And then a traumatized hippocampus starts to spill out this dicey memory to back up the threat. And then the prefrontal cortex, it starts to kind of disengage, to turn off, which then hinders decision making, impulse control, regulation. And there you are, in a state of survival, either fight, flight, freeze, fawn, all over one small occurrence. And now you're locked into your sympathetic nervous system response. Increased cortisol, adrenaline, heart rate goes up, difficulty relaxing, difficulty concentrating. So, in order to heal from trauma, of course, there needs to be an awareness that it's occurring to begin with. But to gain awareness, an individual needs to be able to observe themselves. And as you can see, that can be quite challenging when your brain and body lock up in this apocalyptic state over someone's face expression. So it takes the practice of observing, gaining awareness, and starting and continuing the rewire process. A messy ass process. Because you really just can't talk your way through the rewire. You can study all the trauma responses. You can know what happens to you. But you can't just say, next time my body's going to react different. A nervous system, a brain, it doesn't heal without practice. Enter in another reminder, messy ass shit. As a trauma survivor, side note, who really isn't at this point? This earth experience alone, what? So as a trauma survivor, you practice in real time. You gather all the info you can, you learn some skills, and then you practice. And when it goes south, you lean in, you make amends, and you try again. And it's not like you can just read some books, train yourself in some skills, or get trained in skills, and it's going to work out always peachy. Remember, messy ass shit. A visualization for the process. So you need to get from one side of a field to the next. The field is overgrown. Tall weeds, some cactus, the jumping kind for my West Coast fam. You know what I'm talking about. There's some poisonous snakes. There's a couple of spots with some quicksand. The dangers are real. And they always have been. Hence the PTSD. But along with the dangers are some beautiful parts too. Beautiful energy exchanges, beautiful gifts, banana trees, smiles, true people, art, dancing, music. So as you're walking through this field, you're trying to recognize what's what. You're collecting experiences, and you fall into the cactus, you're getting stung by hornets, you're mending your wounds, you're trying to embrace the beauty. And then you get to the other side just to realize that you need to go back. But the trail's not even visible. All the overgrown weeds, etc., bounced right back up. It takes back and forth to finally be able to see the path that you've worked so hard to create. The path is your neural pathways. It's your nervous system. You realize you can't hide in the woods forever. You actually have to practice walking. You have to practice creating your own path with others present. Messy ass shit. Then you add in groups of people trying to do this healing together. On top of it, there is a big part of society adding some type of self-medicating in at the same time. Messy ass shit. So you decide, how do I reach my favorite version of myself? Heart opened, vulnerable. You practice. You find what works for you and you expand it. Here is what tremendously helps me heal my own C-PTSD. Okay, so there's the learning, reading, studying the mind, studying the body, mindfulness, working on staying present, practicing. Mostly, though, my spiritual path. A beautiful mix of many different truths, many beliefs from all over the world, including these 5 Toltec agreements. If you haven't already, strongly encourage you to do so if you feel aligned to read everything from Don Miguel Ruiz and Don Jose Ruiz. Number 1, be impeccable with your word. Your word is your magic wand. Your word is your sabda. Your word weaves in a picture around you at all times. This picture expands into your reality. Your words can create great suffering or greatness. 2, don't take anything personal. Think about the trauma reactions described earlier. So many people, they're just hijacked mind and body. Nothing to do with you or me. They're projecting their own reality. And this doesn't mean to allow others to harm you. It means that when you release, when you realize it's not all about you, the suffering diminishes. 3, don't make assumptions. Ask questions, get curious. This minimizes drama, minimizes conflict. Assumptions often reflect your hardest, most damaging traumas. 4, always do your best. You walked into the cactus and tried to pet that snake. All right, learn, grow, evolve, keep going. Keep reaching for that favorite version. Small steps make a huge difference. 5, be skeptical, but learn to listen. Allow yourself to be very curious about truths, not hypervigilant. Observe. Make choices, but when you're able to, with intention, when your brain is online. It's becoming aware of our own mental stories. Perception, it's not the full truth. Respecting others, but not taking their reality as this ultimate truth. Create your own. Live authentic. With that being said, this is part of what works for me. Reminder, it's your responsibility to find out what works for you. Maybe I'll be part of your journey. Like, I know that this space is part of mine. For what I speak out loud, it only further creates my reality. And I aim to walk aside those listening and those physically present in my life, knowing I'm a work in progress. Being vulnerable, open-hearted. I try to learn how to walk amongst the chaos with a smile, maybe a skip. And a big thank you to those that can witness both my messy ass shit and my beauty with love. And find those people that can do the same for you, that can see your messy ass shit, that can see that you're a work in progress, that can see that there is light that is trying to come out. There's vulnerability. There is a heart open, leaning into forgiveness. A 3-card drawing from the Osho deck. First card, slowing down. Got that turtle energy in this card. It's a big balance between knowing when you need to retreat into yourself, when you need to take a moment, regulate, be in your shell, create that intention, create that calm, and then come back out, being able to use wise mind thinking, moving throughout your day, slow, present. Second card, turning in. So recognizing that the chatter in the mind is not always telling you the truth. In fact, just thinking about that fifth agreement there, being skeptical, but learning to listen. That's a big one for the mind. For the mind will start to send you automatic thoughts when you're in a triggered state. So remembering to quiet the mind, to turn inward, to calm yourself, to use those regulation skills, to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, getting out of your sympathetic nervous system before you make decisions. Final card, the source. Finding what works for you. Mind, body, belief system, practices. That belief system. We have a lot of people that are presenting with religious trauma, rightfully so. But this card really speaks to it's not about religion. It's your own belief system. What is your purpose? What does your favorite version of yourself look like? What do you think is going on in this earth experience? Is being able to open to yourself up to be able to see the signs and synchronicities, to be able to lean into if it's your spirit guides, if it's your spirit team, your healed ancestors, if it's entities and beings that are guiding you, if it is God, whatever language that you use. If it's Krishna, if it's Jesus, if it's Buddha, is really turning in and finding your authentic flow with this reality. There is something incredibly magnificent when we open up to this, and not something that we're told to believe. When we really go on our own journey and we start to piece it together for ourselves, things start to happen in our reality that are undeniable. You can no longer really use the word coincidence. In my humble opinion, to heal a traumatized body, I do think that having some sort of belief system is necessary. Even if you're just focusing on, I'm going to work within these agreements, or I'm going to be the kindest version of myself, to others. But it's an important part, because we can stop making it all about us, and we can start to really see how amazing this experience is. It's unfolding like a beautiful poem if we are aware enough to see each thing happening that can weave right into the next, and you can track it in real time and learn and expand and grow. Which then, the more that we feel safe, the more that our nervous system heals, the more that it replaces those past experiences. The more that we feel safe, the more room that our mind has to step into creative endeavors, to make beautiful connections with other people. It doesn't mean that we're not going to get pricked by the cactus. It doesn't mean we're not going to get that hornet sting. But we learn how to recover quickly. We learn how to assess the situation differently. Observing, not hypervigilant. Still being able to watch 06, but not in a way where it's transforming ordinary occurrences into something quite dangerous. So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking a little ride on this bus. I appreciate you.
Thank you for tuning in. having a human experience.